Let's now answer this part right here. So part C, it says the project could finish earlier if some of the activities were crashed. 6 activities, B, D, G, I, J, and L, can all be reduced by 1 day. The cost of crashing is $1,000 per activity. What is the minimum number of days in which the project could now be completed? So, first things first, let's zoom out here. Let's zoom out because we've got to figure out which of these can be reduced. So let's grab a highlighter. I'm just going to highlight everything that can be reduced here. So it can be B, D, G, where's G? G, A, B, D, I, L, J. B, D, G, I, J, L. And they can all be reduced by 1 day. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to say, all right, this is going to become 1, this will be 1, this will be 4, this will be 8, this will be 6, this will be 2. Okay, so I've applied those reductions to them. And now it says, what's the minimum number of days in which the project could now be completed? Now, this is where we're just going to have a look here and we're really just going to like analyze it. You could do this with a table of, and kind of list out all the pathways. But if you pay attention and you kind of work through this systematically, we should be able to do it this way. All right, so coming through here, if this is now 1, this is no longer going to be 12, it's going to be 11. And if this now is 1, then this is no longer going to be 12, it's also going to be 11. Now, if this is now 11, I'm going to go 11 plus 4. This now is going to be 15. Would you agree? This now is going to be 15 because I'm going to go 11 plus 4 is 15. It's no longer 17. Now, if this is 15, I immediately run into a problem because that means 16 is now my bigger number. But remember, we have to account for the fact that we're reducing this as well. So this is now going to be 7 plus 8. 7 plus 8, this is going to be 15 as well. So that actually means that both of these are going to be critical paths now, aren't they? Because now, if we think about it, if this is 15, what's now going to happen now? Okay, so this is going to be 11, this is going to be 15, this will be 15. I could also push through this one as well. So I could say, all right, if this now is 2, well, this is going to be 2, this will be 4, then this will be 4, then 4 plus 3 is 7, then 7 plus 3, this is going to be 10. That's not going to impact anything because 15 is still going to be my bigger number there. So now I would go 15 plus 2 is now going to be 17. It's no longer going to be 19. It's now going to be 17 because 15 plus 2 is 17 there. So that means that's how long it's going to take to complete this thing, a minimum of 17 days. So what is the minimum number of days in which the project could now be completed? It's going to be 17. Let's see how many people got that correct. All right, we come over here, bang, 17 days. 35% of people got that correct. It says reduce activities I, J, and L on the critical path. The original critical path is now 17 days. It creates a new critical path of A, C, G, N, taking 18 days. Also reduce activity G. Okay, so if we come up here for a second, it says that a new critical path has emerged and that new critical path would take 18 days. Also reduce activity G. Let's just see what they mean by that. If I come up here now, in order to figure out the new critical path, I would also have to do a backward scan. So I would go 17. I would go 17 minus 2 is 15. So you can see this is getting a bit messy. And then I would go 15 minus 8. What is 15 minus 8? 15 minus 8 would be 7. And then 7 minus 5 would be 2. Do you see how I've now got another critical path emerging here? Let's grab another color. Let's grab this orange. I've now got this critical path emerging. Orange is so ugly. Let us try another color. I'm going to have to do it in green. We've got another critical path emerging right here. So not only do we have this one and this one, but now we've got this one as well. So now we've got 3 critical paths and yeah, that's how it works there. All right, let's keep on going. What is the minimum cost of completing this project in this time? So what's the cost of completing this project? Well, remember, we don't have to reduce everything, do we? Reducing this one achieves nothing because it still ended up 10. You're still going to end up waiting 15. So don't reduce that one. Just leave it as 3. That just stays as 3. Don't reduce it. Was there any point reducing this one? No, there was no point in reducing that one either, because, if we did reduce it, if this now becomes 6, then what I'm going to end up with is 2 plus 6 is 8. Well, it's still not going to get close to 10, so that was pointless to reduce. Keep that one. we need to reduce this, 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 and this. And hopefully, by our logic before, you understand why G needs to be reduced. Lots of people, when answering this in the exam, forgot to reduce G. But remember, once we had kind of pushed through all our reductions here and ended up with 15, if we didn't reduce G, then this would have been 16 and would have been bigger. So that's why we had to reduce this one in order to make sure that that earliest completion time of 17 could be reached. So a little bit tricky there in terms of knowing why G had to be reduced, but that's the thinking behind it. So that means you have to make 1, 2, 3, 4 reductions here. 4 reductions. 1, 2, 3, 4 reductions. Each reduction is $1,000. So that means all up, you're going to be spending 4,000. 1, 2, 3. Let's see how many people got this one correct. As you can see, the answer was 4,000. Only 15% of people got this correct. This question was not answered well. Some students recognized the need to reduce the critical activities I, J, and L, but did not realize that activity G also had to be reduced as it was part of a new critical path formed. So what happened? So that's it. If you understand it, you can click off it now. But let me just kind of explain to you how people messed this up. The way people messed this up is they did not take into account G, okay? So when they pushed forward, they said, oh, look, I get a new critical part, I get a new reduction here, but they didn't realize, hey, if this is now 15, 16 is my bigger number. And therefore, if 16 is my bigger number, then I would end up going 16 plus 2 is 18. But if I do make that reduction there, then I can get it down to 17. And you have to make that reduction in order for that to occur. So people forgot to reduce G there, and that was kind of their mistake. So a little bit tricky there at the end. Not many people got that correct. But remember, if you spend your time doing these questions, you will become better. And this is where you need to be focusing on. Crashing is how you're going to boost up your ATAR. People mess up crashing. All right, hopefully that made sense. Bye-bye.